I was 19, and over the radio the news came about the evacuation of Dunkirk and the troops landing in England, and my job was to load a barrow up with bread or cakes or whatever, take it to the local station where the ATS fed the troops, unloaded the barrow. I'd walk back, get a full one, take that up, leave that, bring the empty one back and load that up and go back up with another full one. And that carried on for 3 days until it was all over. And shortly afterwards I was called into the army. And I had no idea about war, didn't have a clue, because it was never talked about much in our young days, as there was no television and very little radio, so we didn't know A from B as regards war. But we soon learned during the actual fighting, yes, everyone's frightened, you're scared stiff, and so you don't know what to do, actually, and what good NCOs and officers put you right, keep your head down, and being a frontline soldier, just use your common sense and do what you think's best, because you could lose your sergeant, which has happened many a time. The corporal could be wounded, then the senior soldier takes over, but he can't be everywhere. The point of using your common sense is there's no one to tell you what to do, so you've got to do what's best. Take cover, keep your rifle clean, and when the shots start firing, then you fire back. You don't know whether you hit anybody because you're not the only one shooting, and all you can do is hope for the best. And if your mate gets hit, you can't do nothing about that, you just have to leave him. That's the job of the stretcher bearers. And if they say fix bandits, that's what you have to do. Thank goodness I only done that once. And when you see a man laying dead on the floor who's had a bayonet run through his heart, it's a very, very horrible expression on his face, something you'll never forget. And there's nothing you can do. It could be one of your own mates, and you don't stop, you just keep going. I was injured twice during the war. We invaded Sicily where I got wounded. When we got to the outside of town, the road was completely demolished, and the sergeant said, stop the truck. They all jumped on the gun. He said, we put the gun in the field, and there was a terrific explosion. One of the boys trod on a mine, or they put the gun on a mine, and it blew the gun to pieces. The 5 was killed. I was blown completely across the road, and I was multiple gunshot wounds where I picked up by the stretcher bearers, went to a casualty clearance station where I was informed after I come to. I asked where the rest of the boys were. They told me the 5 was killed, the gun was completely destroyed, and they're good boys. We've been together a long time, and it was a shame. But that's the price of war, isn't it? I know I got wounded again. I was put out on patrol with 7 other chaps, and it was pouring hard with rain, and we'd gone a few miles, And what happened, there was a wall, was old buildings had been well shelled, and we done the silliest thing anyone could do. We propped ourselves against the wall where we should have laid out in the open somewhere, and of course the Germans had the range of the place and they shelled it with mini-woffers, and we was buried alive. There was 2 killed and 3 injured, and I don't know who rescued us, but I found myself back at the battalion sitting on the side of a log with 2 more fellows, and the doctor came along and he looked at us. He said, "Your frontline action's all finished. You've got to go back to Benevento, where you'll be treated for the shell shock and neurosis." And in that place you saw the worst sights you'd ever seen in your life of human beings what was suffering from shell shock. The cases in there you can't really explain. You'd have to see it for yourself to sort of understand it. For one instance, a man, not all that old, he must have been about 22, all he done all the time was crawled about. They had to he never got dressed. They used to have to cover him up, and he just crawled on all 4s with a big alarm clock round his neck. That's all he done, and he couldn't do anything else. And I think eventually the poor fellow died. I was lucky. So many different things happen to you during a war. Even today, though I'm 80, I still wake up sometimes in a sweat and have horrible dreams. When you get up in the morning, you're busy doing what you have to do, and the dreams completely disappear. Until a few weeks later they come back, and it comes into your head, me personally, and I think, did that really happen? Have I dreamed it, or did that sort of thing really happen? And you don't know. Also nightmares. My wife used to wake me up, not for a lot, but now and again I'll be shouting in my sleep. And she used to have to wake me up for waking the kids as well. And that's a nightmare, but you can't tell people. As I say, you still get these dreams and these nightmares occasionally now. War today is still the most horrible thing ever introduced into this world. Our fathers, they fought a war, the Great War, to finish all wars. We had to go and finish what they didn't do, apparently. And the war we fought was supposed to be peace on earth and goodwill to all men for the rest of the human life. But it never worked that way. Unfortunately, since the Second World War, there's been so many wars all over the world, you don't know whether the world's safe or not to go anywhere.